Hello everyone, welcome back to our pumpkin spice workshop. Today I will show you a little bit about the pages 1 and 2, so this double page layout. But before we do, there's a few little things. So some of you might have this little note in there which pretty much just says that all the die cuts that are in on one sheet that are labeled as project 1 should actually be project 3 and vice versa. Otherwise everything labeled project 2 is correct. So just swap them out if you happen to have one of these in your set. I already pre-cut and started, popped all my die cuts out. So this is what I'm left with, the paper cardstock that was given to us in the set. So there's quite a few things left over that you can use for another layout if you wanted to. And on the go, I will show you actually a few tips to save even more of this pretty paper. So like I said, I started pre-cutting everything, and the guide pretty much tells you what photos were used on, size of photos were used on the layouts. These are the zip strips. Zip strip is the top of your paper that has on one side the information about the paper collection, and on the other side it's a decorative element that you can use on your pages. In this case we need these two, and then we need these two for a different project. Okay, the cutting guide. It's very self-explaining. One thing you just want to make sure to pay attention to is the orientation of the papers. So the paper below here are the colors that shows you actually what paper to pick. So the one is the one side polka dots, the other one has the stripes, and it also gives you the direction of the paper. So this is the direction of the stripes going this way, which means when you cut your 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 in this case, you want to make sure that you put the trimmer in this way, so then your stripes are going that way. Hope that makes sense. Same as with this one. So here is the paper pack with this pretty, let me grab it quick. So this is left over actually. So this is this pretty paper with the sweaters, and on the back side are those trees. And it tells you here too that if you want to cut this piece off, you want to put your orientation. You see the sweaters going this way, so you have to flip it from this side to this way. Cut your 4.5 by 11. So this is 11, this is 4.5, just as they show here, because when we're done and we're using it, you will have to put it on your paper this way. So that way all your sweaters, your boots, everything is in the right direction. If you don't pay attention, you might end up having, everything going sideways, or, well, upside down, doesn't matter because you can flip it over. But just pay attention to this, and the cutting guide really makes it clear and shows you what direction to put the paper in your trimmer. So paper trimmer is here. That means the paper goes in this way. With the stripes, you want to make the stripes going this way, and then it goes in your paper trimmer. The mint cardstock, and that is another thing, our cardstocks are two-toned. What does that mean? Let me show you here with some leftovers. So this is our new harbor, and the back side is a little bit lighter, and I know it's hard to pick up here with the camera. Let me see if I find another one where it's a little bit more clear. I think with the shortbread it's a little bit clearer. Dark side, that's the light side. Can you see the difference? So that's another thing you want to make sure. It says here the mint cardstock, the light side is the correct one. The dark side has a little star here. All these elements don't have a star, which means you have to cut them on the light side of your paper. And that goes for your shortbread, same thing. So in this case, the dark side is the one without the little star, and all these pieces have to be cut on the dark side. Same with the harbor, dark side up, and then these are the pieces you cut from that side. So if you don't pay attention to it, it's not a big deal. It's just if you wonder why yours are a little bit off color wise, that's why. All right, now as you can see, I already kind of like made sure I had all my pieces together. And I think the longest time this will take to put this together is to cut your papers. You pop out all these little die cuts and make sure you have them on the right side. So what I did, I just went through all of them, kind of stashed up together, so I know that for those clusters I have the correct leaves. If you mix them up, there's not a big deal. You know, it's a bunch of leaves pulled back together, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. But if you just want to make sure that you have an even amount, just, you know, lay them out a little bit. And what is hard to see is there are some darker leaves in here, all these little pine cones, and they are actually from that element sheet that came with it, these nice dark wood pieces here. And we will add them at the end to the pages, because you have to be very careful to remove them out of the sheet, because it is real wood and it is very thin. So if you see a couple of dark pieces and you don't have something either as a die cut or on your sticker sheet. And regarding the sticker sheet, once I have all my elements, I check out and see what I have missed so far that I might not have. Like this round piece was not in. So my punch outs, the die cuts. So I just went through my sticker sheet and I found, oh, it's one of these little things. So what I do is I just, as you can see, cut my pieces out of my sticker sheet and put them on the corresponding page. That way I later know that here these little stickers go in there. This is a sticker, these are stickers, so we're good. Okay, let's get moving. As you can see, page 1, and here's all the stuff for page 2, which we put aside for now. This very pretty paper, it is up to you if you want the lighter colors on the outside, the darker in the middle, or you reverse it. Maybe you would take your pictures, put them on there and see what looks best. I'm right now following strictly our guide, but that is just for you, because when you're at home, that's the information you see. You're welcome to change anything you want. This is not a blueprint that meant to be followed to the teeth. So if you have different size pictures, let's say your pictures maybe are different format, they're a little bigger, a little smaller, or you need to add an extra picture to it, feel free to change. So right now this layout calls for one big picture here and this one over here, which is overlapping a little bit. And like I said, just following our sheet here. Now if you say, well, I have one that's upright, or this one is upright, you can always change them. You don't have to go by the books, you know, depending on what your pictures are. You just change it up. Then you put your little cluster down here, you put the big cluster over here. So this is up to you. I do like that layout as it is, so I'm just gonna start adhering. So first thing of order, we have to adhere the zip strip on the bottom. And regarding adhesive, I use tape runner or liquid adhesive. Either or works for me. Whatever you have in your stock and you like to use, that is also up to you. And another thing, it doesn't really matter. So we're using here stripes coming down. You can reverse it, put the stripes going up, coming from this side, from this side. Just play around with it and see how your papers, your pictures are, what would work best, and go from there. Okay, let's put the zip strip on here. And again, this is the top of one of the papers in case you're looking for that. Now let's start with the big photo. So you get photo mats with the set. They are actually 4x6. which means this piece is cut by 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And if you know me, if you want to save a little bit on your paper and have more left over to work with for other things, if you cut this down to 4 by 6, yes, then your photo will exactly line up with your mat. But normally when you get your prints back, they're often not correct 4 by 6. They're a little bit shorter sometimes. So what I usually do is I just take 1/8 of an inch on either side of my photo off. That usually doesn't hurt the picture itself, but then it fits perfectly in my 4 by 6. Reason being, I would get more mats out of one sheet of paper than when I go with the 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. But that's me, so just a little hint, tip for you if you want to do this. In this case, we can put the placeholder down, and I will do this with some removable tape. You could use, or actually no, that sometimes doesn't work so well. I just use a little bit of my tape runner here. And what you could do is, for when you put your photos on here, you still could cut your photo a little bit smaller, so you see actually a little bit of the white too. That way you have like a double matting effect depending on your photo. Okay, and then this one also gives you an idea, like this photo is supposed to be 1 1/4 inch away from the side and 3 1/8 from the top. So this nice Versamat here that we have has all the measurements on the side here, which makes it really easy. So 1 2 3 and 1/8 is about here, and then it's at 1 1/4, so 1 1/4 is about here, and that's just eyeballing it from the side. Yeah, 1 1/4 about here, and it doesn't have to be exact. So this one we can adhere down. And we said 3 1/8. Right, 1 2 3 about here. Just making sure it's about even. Okay, now this photo is supposed to go and overlapping this one a little bit. Now, if you're preparing and you're not using your photos right away, like I'm doing here, what I normally do is you either can raise this one a little bit if you like to, or what you also could do is just, again, this is 1 1/4 about here. What you also could do is raise it, or when you adhere it flat to your paper, make sure you only put adhesive on the back on this side here and leave this corner open, so the person that puts the pictures in can tuck their picture behind here without having any trouble. And let's put this one in, and that was supposed to be 3 7/8, so about, yeah. And don't do what I just did. Caught it. Okay. Never mind. Remember what I just said, don't put adhesive there. And guess what I did? I put adhesive there. But that's fine. I just let this dry for a second and then come back to it later, no problem. Okay, here's a little, this little strip goes right underneath here. So let's put this one on first here. sticker here. It goes on top. And then let's start with this cluster here. So there's a cluster, and what I always like to do is with those cutouts, I just like to lay them out here so I get a feeling. There's a sticker. These two go behind here. And this one too is overlapping your photo a little bit. So since this is a sticker, one way to deal with this is to either cut around the sticker, or when you take your sticker off and you take your, where's my 1 second. This is my embossing buddy, and it's got like cornstarch in it, type of cornstarch. So what it does is it makes it non-sticky. So you just tap this on here a few times, and then it's no longer sticky. And we can place it with some foam dots maybe on top here, and that should take care of that cluster. So again, it is up to you if you want to have a little bit more dimension in your little cluster here or not. I like to adhere those things just on the stem, so I can always bend and lift the leaves a little bit if I have to. This one actually goes behind it. That also makes it easier if you know, have to stick something behind. This one can go right on top here. And then this one, I'm just cutting off the stem because we won't see it anyway. That way I can stick it a little bit further in here. This one goes underneath. And if you have inks at home where you maybe would like to, they're matching those colors here, feel free to use them with a little sponge and go around the edges of your leaves to make them pop a little bit more. If you don't, that's fine. It's not an option, it's just an option to make things a little bit more different. Okay. And you can use Stickles in different colors. Maybe gold would be nice. So I only put like 3 of these little squares here, so this side is open, so when you want to put a picture, you can stick the picture behind here with no problem. Okay. Let's see. I got powder on here from the pouch. Okay. How's my... Still a little bit sticky, but that's no problem. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah. Happens. All right. So we somewhere about here. I would say about here is good. Okay, and again, this side is not adhered, so you can put your picture here behind with no problem. Okay, then we have our little strip. It goes right behind here. This little sticker goes on the bottom. And now we are working on the big cluster. Oops. So that is a little bit difficult, more difficult, but nothing you can't handle. Just make sure before you adhere everything down that you kind of like know where things going, how far you want them to stick out and over your picture here, and that way you know where not to put adhesive underneath. Just a little too. I think that's looking pretty good. And we do the stickers at the end. So my thought is I maybe pop this one up at the end so it's not too tough on here, and let's start adhering the rest like it shows here. And this just goes flat on the page. You don't want to have too much bulk in your layouts, otherwise your album's getting really thick. Let's go with those that are on the bottom here first. Again, I try to remember only to put adhesive on the bottom part of these so you can tuck your photo underneath. Without any major trouble. Okey-doke. And let's do this one. Maybe we raise this one here too a little bit. And like I said, you can use some shimmer brush, some some Stickles, anything to add extra embellishment to those leaves, which I think is gonna be pretty to look at. I think gold would work best, or rose gold, something in that vicinity. If you have like a copper, some of the warmer metallics. Okay, so this one just has a few in the middle here because I don't want to cover too much of it up. And this one is too long. You just snip it off. Okay, now this one covers this one up a little bit, so I would say we pop this one up, and then we add our little stickers and our title, and we're good to go. Okay, now this one here goes underneath, and that's why I only left a few, because this way I can stick them underneath here. And if I want this to go in a little bit further, that's perfect. So just a little bit adhesive on the tip. Lift up our we're good. Now to these two. Let's test it. That's good. Can stick it underneath as far as we need to. And then this one sits a little bit more outside, like here. And then we have those little stickers still, so this little leaf here tucks in somewhere in between here. And we have these little acorns. Oh, and this little red leaf here. And those little acorns. I'm gonna raise one. I'm gonna put one flat down. Put the other one on top. There you go. And then we have our title. And it spells out, my favorite color is. And again, I lay my title out the way I would like it to show. A little bit over here. And then to make sure we get it spaced evenly, start with this one. Then I make sure they are about the same height. And then we take the last one. That's why I had to. I was wondering. Now I know why. Okay. Let's move this over a little bit. I was wondering why I had two spellings in here. But, well, one is the British English and the other one is the American English. So, depending on how you like yours spelled, you have an extra set. Didn't occur to me because when I went to school in Germany, usually you learn the British English, but I had an American English teacher, so I kind of got both spellings, and so it doesn't really occur to me that it's wrong. Okay, here we go. And so this one is almost done, beside the little wooden pieces, which we will add to it at the end. Let's put this aside and assemble page 2. Same thing. I already got my little clusters going here, so I know that I have all my pieces. And let's move to the second page, which gives you an idea. So the cluster, here's the big picture, here are the two smaller ones, here's your cluster, the bottom strip. On top and underneath the pictures is this little dotted paper, and then everything else we just make fit. So let's start with the bottom. Nice thing about if you're using this liquid adhesive from Tombow, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to straighten things out. If you're using the tape runner, pretty much once you push or press it down, it's done. There's not much you can do. But if you have the liquid adhesive, you can move it around a little bit more. Okay, so this is also a horizontal picture. Let's place my mat down here. And it tells me that's about 3 inches from the top, so about here, and 1 inch over, so pretty much right here. So let's adhere that. So 12, that's about here. And then we have our 2 3x3 pictures. And this is about 2 inches. And there's like 1/4 inch in between. So 2 inches from the top and about 1 inch from the side here. This one goes underneath. About 1/4 inch in between those. All right, that's our little strip that goes on top of this picture. This is such a lovely dotted paper. And then this one goes on the bottom. Right here. And then we're pretty much ready to put our autumn here. And then we can start building our little clusters. So again, making sure this will overlap a little bit. There's a sticker. This one goes on the bottom. So I'm gonna start with this one here because it's a sticker. Then we do the top part. This kind of peeks in the picture just a bit. So I only put adhesive on this side, so this side is open. Let's do this one here. And I would think I'm gonna raise this here a little bit so it sticks out a little bit more. There's no right or way or wrong way to do this. It's just, to me, sometimes it looks a little bit better when you have a little bit thin tape underneath or squares. Don't use the thick ones, they're too high, but these thin ones work pretty well. And we have some in the catalog too, so if you want to grab some, they come in a roll. And really easy to use. Okay, now the sticker, again, we have to use our little powder thing. I'm doing this off camera because I get the powder all over the page otherwise. It doesn't need much, and then it's not sticky anymore. Okay, so if you put this over here, it kind of peeks into the photo a little bit, so leaving one corner open to slide the picture in. And this cluster is done. Now to the top one, which is a little bit bigger. This is another sticker that we should put here. So let me try and do the same thing here. Again, I just take my sticker and put my dusty little front on it. And it should take the stickiness right off. Okay. And then this one should go somewhere here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of these things here in the middle and on the bottom, and leave the top open so the picture can go behind. Somewhere there. So there's enough room to put the picture behind. Okay, last cluster. And that's another big one. So this one sits about here. This one reaches in a little bit. Then we have this one here behind. Then we have this big red one. And the other ones are stickers. So let's put this one here together. And this side also. And we're gonna put these on. This is for journaling, so I'm gonna cut them. They're like three little strips that they show where you can write some journaling on there, and it's the same with this page. This one had, oh, this one doesn't have any. Okay, so these three are just gonna go somewhere here, and I will see at the end when I'm done, you know, how much journaling I need or will place. And same thing, I'm gonna make sure they fit in here, so we want to move this maybe over just a tad, and then that should be fine. That cluster being here. Okay, all right, so let's get started. I would say start with these two first. Put this big one away for now, and this one and that one. So this one's hanging over just a bit, so I'm not gonna put too much adhesive on here, keeping this side open, and that's it. So there's only a little bit of adhesive here and here, which is plenty. This one's gonna hang in here a little bit, so about here. So I'm just gonna do some adhesive on the bottom here. Now we have this one here. I'm not really too worried about this one. I might raise because they stick one of these nice wooden elements underneath. So I'm just gonna do a few. Again, just a few of these little squares here, and then pop these here. So this side is wide open, so I can stick everything underneath at the end. this one here. It's gonna go flat on there. And then we have this little guy. Again, just cutting off the stem here a little bit so it fits easier. It's easier to tuck underneath. Don't be afraid, even if you have a longer piece and you know it's gonna only peek out a little bit, just whatever you don't need cut off. So this one for sure will be raised, and the majority will go around here. So now we have to be careful because these areas we shouldn't put anything on there, so I have to just really go in the middle. And make sure that should be fine. So I just put like 4 of these on here, so both sides are open because it's overlapping both of the pictures there, and this way I don't have to worry about wanted to cover up too much, so let's put it here. Okay, now the sticker memories. I need to cut this off here. Then we will tuck these behind here. Maybe put one. Even so, there's adhesive on the back here, but since it's sitting on top of these two, I just put one spacer in there. That way it's not floating in the air. Okay, now we're gonna put some of those little leaves in here. And the last one. Over here. All right, and that pretty much sums up our page number 1. This is our double page layout. So this was page number 1. And this is page number 2. I hope you enjoyed that little walkthrough. Again, these strips gonna be our little journaling strips, so I just have to cut them into pieces and put them down here for a little bit more journaling. And then I might put some little sparkle on here, Stickles, or let's see what I can find. All right, stay tuned for page layout 2. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry, my recording just didn't record, so I forgot to put on those wooden pieces. I will show you how they work on one of the next pages, but just so you see how the finishing page looks like when you add those little wood stickers to it. They're really so super cute and make a really nice extra embellishment. See them here and then down here. So I just wanted to show you because I forgot to put those on at the end. Stay tuned for the next page, and like I said, then we go over the stickers again. Thanks. Bye bye. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry, my recording just didn't record, so I forgot to put on those wooden pieces. I will show you how they work on one of the next pages, but just so you see how the finishing page looks like when you add those little wood stickers to it. They're really so super cute and make a really nice extra embellishment. See them here and then down here. So I just wanted to show you because I forgot to put those on at the end. Stay tuned for the next page, and like I said, then we go over the stickers again. Thanks. Bye bye.